Hello.
Hey, everyone. Sorry for hopping on late. I was having all sorts of computer problems at the very last minute here, and it was frustrating. The ever-loving.
Kick off the show, Phil.
All right, folks. Welcome to Friday Night Live. It's been a couple weeks. Maybe I'm a little rusty. I see Chet's chugging beers. No.
Okay. Seltzer.
Protein shake. Okay. All right. Okay. And Jen's here with us this evening.
How's it going?
She's got a vodka tonic right underneath the camera there.
It's coffee.
Okay.
The lies. Oh my gosh.
No, this is the alcohol.
Hey, there we go. Goodness gracious. That's
goodness.
at least, that's like 3 fingers right there.
I'll be okay.
I'm sure she will. If she will. Ron's with us here like always. And here we are, friends. It is late June 2026. I'll tell a quick story if you don't mind. Yesterday, I had to go to the pharmacy to pick up a prescription for my wife. And because it was recently my birthday, I'm 51 years young.
Oh, happy birthday.
Cheers, thank you. And they said that I qualified for a pneumococcal vaccine. So I said, okay, I believe in science.
Pneumococcal? I thought you were already already neutered. What happened?
I don't know. It's what they told me. But by the way, we're gonna get demonetized here, Ron, right off the bat. Yeah, this is PG-13. I think
pneumococcal's not a. Listen. I'm surprised we're not already getting shut down because we've got the currently sanctioned by Facebook Chet Mitten on here.
Sanctioned by Facebook. What did you do, Chet?
I made a little sarcastic joke that I was going to start my own game company with cocaine and hookers, and Facebook flagged it. And I put up the picture of Bender from Futurama when he was pimping out robots. But yeah, I appealed it. I haven't heard anything, but whatever.
I can't believe that. So what about? So is there more to that story?
Yes, there was. Yes, and then an older lady that worked at the pharmacy came over to me with the form I needed to fill out, and she said, "Remember to properly date the form. Today is the 25th of June." And then before I could say anything, because I was about to say something, she said it to me first. She said, 6 months till Christmas. And because I love Christmas, I truly love Christmas. It's my favorite day of the year. I got really bright-eyed, my eyes got this big, and I said, I was about to say the same thing to you. And then we had a bit of a moment right there.
Oh yeah.
And then you guys went into the back and worked on a private prescription.
No.
Did you get her phone number, Phil?
No, it was out in public. We were not even. It was right out in front of So we had us Christmas folks just had a bit of a moment that I figured I'd share.
The two Christmas folks.
Listen, hey.
You should have gone camping with her.
Really?
Because that sounds like it was intense.
Ha ha.
Oh man.
Canceled.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
All
right, folks, I'll catch you next week. Goodbye.
We have a jam-packed show, but
yes,
I think before we bring on our guests this evening, we'll be kicking things off with legendary artist and TTRPG designer Jeff D. And we've got Deb Waldorf, who is the advisor for the Vineland Public Schools Dungeons and Dragons Club. And, that's going to be a great conversation as well. Anybody who was at Concoction or at Page has seen the kids from Vineland, the Vineland Public Schools there at both conventions. But we made a big hire today, Phil and
I. Yes, indeed. That's right.
And, I want to quick put this up on the screen here, but, what do we do? I cut off her head there. Meg O'Malley is joining our staff as the managing director of Page. She and Concoction. She is the former convention coordinator of Origins. So, she's been, she's seen it all pretty much because, Origins is a national convention run by the Game Manufacturers Association. And you know what? It's, as we've grown so rapidly, we've realized we've had to, grow the staff rapidly, and we needed somebody with experience. And, Meg's got 15 years of experience working on conventions, and we're really excited to have her on board. And she has no idea how much work's ahead of her, but I think she's ready to take it on. She's already got a lot of great ideas. So, Meg, welcome to the team. If you're watching, if you're not, you're fired, and we'll go from there.
She's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is she? Oh, wow.
And I think you meant Gamma, not Origins.
No, she was the convention coordinator of Origins.
Okay,
which is run by Gamma.
Oh, that's okay.
All right.
Well, Meg, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Well, she's in the chat. She's there. She says she's present, so she keeps her job for today.
So when do we meet her, Ron?
Well, she and this is a direct quote. I invited her to come on, and she said, "I don't know that I'm camera ready tonight." So she was probably already hitting the
sauce,
the sauce like you.
No, I'm sure it's because we need time to prepare, Ron. It takes a lot of work to look this good.
You don't just roll out of bed looking like that, Jen?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Got to do hair and all sorts of things first.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Meg says she did a lot of sweating today. Yes.
Yeah.
She, Phil, and I decided to go to a regional game convention called Too Many Games, which takes place at the same facility as Page. And we wanted to check it out for ourselves because it's been there for like 20 years. And wow, there were a lot of people there. Yes. They weren't playing role-playing games or tabletop games, but there were a lot of people there. So we went there, and the temperature was a little hot inside. So the first person who complains to me about it being too cold inside the convention center in January, you're out of luck.
Yeah, it was, it's a very large space. Of course, it's air conditioned, but when you have a, sea of humanity trying to swim through multiple vendor halls. And by the way, folks, that show takes the entire space of the convention center up. So if you think Page was big this past year, through the pull down garage doors on the back wall this year, if you pull those up, you have another hall the exact same size, and then beyond that there's another hall the exact same size. So there's 2 additional halls beyond what we were occupying that this show was in today. So
Neil Devlin says, "Congratulations, Meg. I'm so excited. In fact, I'm this excited."
Yes.
So,
Neil
all right.
is a legend now.
Oh, Phil got all blurry again. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sometimes if I get a little close to the camera.
No,
and
no,
I'm
don't
up
do
here,
that. Don't do that.
And then I
Whoa,
sit
whoa, whoa,
back.
don't do that.
Why?
No,
Does my star shine a little too brightly for you folks?
no, don't make us say the reason why. Jen, you
What?
know,
What?
you're the lucky one in this situation. Now let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Jeff D and Deb Waldorf with us tonight. I'm going to bring on Jeff shortly. And if I can, let's see, there he is. I see him. He's fading it onto the screen. And there he is.
Yay.
This is shortly. You brought me on immediately.
Oh,
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Jeff.
somebody
Hi,
in
Jeff.
chat asked if you're related to Sandra D.
I have no idea. Nor do I know if I'm related to Dr. John D. or any of another.
You know who Sandra D
historical
was?
or famous figure.
You know who Sandra D was, right?
Yeah. Some
Who
sort
was
of
she?
entertainer. That's all I can tell you.
No, that was wasn't that Olivia Newton-John's character in Grease?
That I couldn't tell you.
No, she's an actress. She was an actress. That was her real name. So, a blonde actress from the 50s.
Or Vampire
No.
Hunter D.
No, look at me.
Or,
Hold on. Hold on. Wait 1 second. Yeah, no, that was her. That was Olivia Newton-John's name in Greece.
Oh,
Don't make me put on the "Look at Me, I'm Sandra D"
as
song.
far as I know, I'm not related to that fictional character either.
Okay, well that's good. So Jeff, tell us what's been going on in the world of Jeff D and Uni Games and Monkey House Games.
Okay, well, so you need to have Manda on here to talk to you about a lot more about Unigames, because she is officially in charge of that branch of the business. These days. There are cool things in the works, but she should talk to you.
Well, we'll get her scheduled. Do you think she's up for? You think she'd be up for late August?
I don't speak for her, but
don't you live with
there's a
her?
good chance you should reach out.
Don't you live with her? Can't you just shout to the other room?
I don't.
Hello?
Not at this time. No.
Hold on, is this thing on?
What I've personally been working on is, as I've been for the last couple of years, is the monster source book for Villains and Vigilantes.
Oh, okay.
I'm thrilled to say the writing just got completed, so that's a big hurdle.
Nice.
It's monsters by way of the X-Men, because it's a source book for a superhero role-playing game.
Okay.
In our universe, it's not mutants that are hated and feared. It's monsters, obviously. So I never thought it made any sense. You're in the Marvel universe, walking down the street, some guy fires laser beams out of his eyes, and you go, "Oh, cool, I met a superhero." And then somebody says, "Yeah, but he's a mutant." And then your reaction is, "Oh, now I hate him." I don't get it. So that's what I've been working on, and it's good monsters. It's also got elements, inspired by Clive Barker's movie Nightbreed and the novella Cabal that came before that. They're monsters, but they're not. Doesn't mean they're bad people.
We have
and like with the X-Men. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Like with the X-Men, they spend a lot of their time fighting the actual bad monsters to try to keep things from getting worse.
So is this for Villains and Vigilantes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It is a source book for that world. It's an expansion of the setting.
That sounds interesting. I don't think I've ever tried Villains and Vigilantes, but it sounds good.
Jeff,
Oh,
how old is Villains and Vigilantes at this point? From the first year it came out.
First
to now.
edition came out in 1979. So what is
Wow.
that? I don't know. That's math.
That's 47 years ago.
Yeah.
47 years ago. So Jeff, you were what? You were
17.
You were 17 when you published Villains and
My
Vigilantes.
dad had to co-sign the contract because I wasn't, legally old enough.
Did he take a cut? Did he take a cut of it?
No.
No.
You know, Jen, I'll tell you my Villains and Vigilante story. It was from Concoction because Jeff was my GM.
Cool. Go for it.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was a great time. I enjoyed it.
It was like Christmas.
Almost, but in May.
Jen, have you played any superhero RPGs? Is that a genre that you've experienced?
I don't think so. No. I've heard of like champions and stuff,
Sure.
but no one ever really wanted to teach me that because it had a lot of dice.
Yeah.
But I love to try.
We'll get you in a game next time.
Sure.
What I love about the superhero genre for gaming is that every single character is completely different, because there's not it's not like a fantasy game where there are some like niches that most characters kind of fit in that you can make character classes out of. With superheroes, it's like this weird guy can like teleport and summon bats, and this guy can explode and travel in time, and this guy fires energy beams out of his eyes, and we hate him because he's a mutant. Or everybody's different. And now
That's so cool.
And I'm excited about adding the monsters book because now it's like a whole new way to experience a world full of weirdos with strange powers that are not recognized good guys, and they maybe have a fight with some actual bad monsters, and then they have to run away because the army shows up and wants to shoot at them.
Well, that's an interesting update there. So Jeff, what at this point, what else do you have planned for Villains and Vigilantes moving forward? Like what does the next 5 years look like for V&V?
Jack Herman is after Tales of the Unseen is the name of the Monsters source book. After that comes out, and we're just about to announce a release date. I don't think I should say anything here without my partner Jack's consent. But after that comes out, he is finishing up a adventure that will be the introductory adventure for 3rd edition V&V. And then we've got a big space book, space source book that will be, maps of the nearby star systems and the races there and what their abilities are. And it's a whole. We're continuing to build out our universe. After that, I don't know. We got a lot of ideas.
That sounds amazing.
What would you guys like to see? What interests you about superheroes?
Well, you know what interests me is that, you're in a 3rd edition 47 years in, which seems to me as like the consumer, it seems very reasonable, right? We were talking today, Games Workshop is just sucking the blood out of the industry. They just came out with the 11th edition Warhammer 40K. 11th edition. it's like a money grab. It's brutal. So I'm glad that you're not like every 5 years like hitting a button trying to put out a new book without a lot of changes in it and calling it a new edition. I mean,
well, having the game out of our hands for a period of about 20 years certainly helped.
yeah.
But it's also true that we have, if we do a new edition, it's going to be because we really think there's something more that we can bring to the line, and not just because we think we can get some more dollars out of people's pockets. Cave Master, which you mentioned earlier, right? That's a system I designed specifically as a reaction to the way the industry has trended toward thicker and thicker, glossy, full color, hardbound books and special dice and special cards and everything, and just trying to get as much money as possible out of people. And sometimes there are good design justifications for some of those things. So I don't want to blanket condemn anybody that's ever done that. But
Right.
I wanted to make a game that once you've learned it, you don't even really need the book anymore. And that's Cave Master. Cavemen could have played it, right? Cavemen could have come up with it is the gimmick. So now if I was walking through a forest with a friend and he goes, can we do some role playing? I could pick up some rocks and some sticks and find a patch of dirt on the ground and run a game. Superheroes ain't like that, though. Superheroes are complicated. If you want to, I'm a simulationist type designer, so I want to have rules to cover all the necessary things. You don't need a lot of rules for cavemen because there's not a lot they could do.
I first played Villains and Vigilantes in like 1982 or 1983. We played a campaign. It was my D&D group, and we decided we wanted to do something different. And a couple of us had Villains and Vigilante stuff, and there were people arguing they wanted to play Marvel. And we're like, well, we have this other game, V&V, and we played it. I enjoyed it. I remember my superhero was the Shanghai Sheik. He was a Chinese kung fu expert who wore a turban. And the turban could do stuff.
That was going to be my first question.
He could like entangle people with his turban. Yes.
Neat. Sure. Why not? 82. That would be, if you had just picked it up, that would be second edition V&V.
I think we had first edition stuff. It was older stuff, Jeff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
any other projects you want to talk about? Hey, or do you want to pile on praise for Concoction?
Sure. Concoction's great.
You flew in from Texas for the show.
We were in a dark corner. I wish we had better lighting, but that's all right. We did what? We flew in, yeah. Yes, we did.
What?
Because I'm in Texas.
What was that? Jeff, you said you wanted better light. Hello. Oh, there you are, Jeff. Sorry, the lights went out.
I went to art school in Dover, New Jersey, at the Joe Kubert School of Cartoon and Graphic Arts.
That's like a different world. That's like it's 2 hours north.
Yeah. Even so, it was nice to be. It's always nice to be back on the East Coast for Page and for Concoction.
Yeah. We got a lot going on this year at Page.
I hear it's going to be bigger.
It's going to be bigger, and we've got some pretty neat stuff. And if I can figure out where.
And by page, of course, you mean the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo.
Is that what we mean? Yes, that is exactly what we mean. I can't find the image that I had ready to pull up here. So I had an image and now it's gone.
So other stuff I'm working on. I also do contract work, and I've got multiple projects lined up. I just finished like a mock superhero comic book cover for a V&V fan.
Oh wow!
He runs a campaign, and he wanted a cover of the book featuring all of the characters that his players play in his campaign. So I did that for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Next thing, I'm doing a scene of Lolth, Queen of the Demon Web Pits, for a guy. I think he plans on putting it in a game book. And then there's a painting coming up after that. I stay busy.
Oh, wow, that's good.
It's always good to be busy.
And always looking for work. So if anybody out there listening to this has got projects coming up,
hold on,
Chet, on the Facebook.
Chet just sent me a private chat. It says, "Cut Jeff off. I need work too."
I did not. Actually, I was going to say, how do people reach you for commissions, Jeff?
Most of my contacts are through social media. So
Okay.
my Facebook page has got a tiny URL you can click on. It'll take you to my rates and terms page.
Perfect.
So we got the Jeff.
What about you?
Question,
Chad?
For me, yeah, I get most of my work through social media, but people could go to my website, chetmintonartist.com, and contact me that way too.
some Chet Minton art.
Yeah,
That's very nice.
It's okay.
Is that like a
It's
skid?
all right.
Hello?
People are skiing.
It's third tier. We're okay.
it is. Yeah.
So we were talking about how Page is getting bigger, and just going to share something real quick. So, we have a special part of the convention this year, a convention within a convention, because we've got Cananza.
You got that in paint.
Shut up. Anyway, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm primitive. So I'll take it off the screen since it's hurting your eyes. But we have so many Conan and Robert E. Howard experts coming in this year. It's like a whole sub theme of the convention.
That's awesome.
We're having a lot of fun with it. So, we were starting to talk about concoction, and as we typically do, we bring our first guest on, we talk to them a bit, and then we leave our first guest on when we bring on the second guest, and the first guest kind of becomes part of the discussion as we go back and forth. So we were talking about concoction, and I want to bring on Deb Waldorf, who's the advisor for the Vineland Public Schools D&D Club. And Jeff, I don't know if you saw those kids. They were there at Concoction. They were also there at Page. But I'm going to bring her on to talk a little bit about Concoction as well. And there she is. Hi, Deb.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I've been enjoying the conversation, just listening.
Oh, yeah. Did you go ahead?
I'm so sorry, but Jeff, I would love to get from you the name of the school that you said you went to.
Joe Kubert School of Cartoon and Graphic Arts.
Do they still exist?
I don't know.
They
Okay.
do. They do.
Okay, so I need to I just don't have anything to write anything down with. Oh wait, I'm finding things. So how do you spell that?
I think if you just search for the Kubert School, Kubert, that'll probably find it.
Okay.
Either that or you're going to find a guy with legs,
Kubert.
a round
Kubert.
head,
That was
and
Kubert, not.
proboscis.
I tried to get into the Kubert School, but
I remember playing
wasn't jumpy
Kubert.
enough.
Thank you very much. Oh my lord.
Yeah, I'm at the website here, kubertschool.edu.
And, yeah.
Excellent. Kubert School. Okay, I'm sorry. I have a lot of students that are interested in that kind of stuff. So
Deb, talk to us a little bit about, you've been able to bring the kids to both Page and Concoction now, through our program, because we have a diversity program called On the Same Page, and diversity is not just about race and ethnicity and gender. It's also about age, and unfortunately, we're in an aging hobby many times with a lot of older people. Some of the guys on this stream right now included. So we're always encouraged to try to bring the younger gamers in and let them see what's going on at the conventions. Can you talk to us a little bit about the experience the kids had?
well, I know the kids that went to the first one to Page in January. I know that pretty much, I guess everyone that went to Page also came to Concoction, right? Because I did not get to go to Page. I sent the best room mom ever. She kind of like spearheaded that whole road trip.
she is what's her name?
Amanda.
Mandy Mosley.
Yep.
And yes, she really works hard to make sure the kids get their badges, even if it means sending me one kid's name and email a day over the course of like 30 days to make sure she gets all the badges in.
Yeah.
Yes, she loves to do that. I got one more.
One more.
Yeah, I got one more kid to come to the convention.
Yep.
Well, how about the kids? How about the kids at Concoction? I mean, you had a lot of kids there because it was their hometown, right?
They had such a great time, and it was awesome seeing. I'm sure you saw our one that came in cosplay. I don't know what the character is because I'm an old person that doesn't know about those things. But she was in it's like yellow, and it's kind of like
yeah. She had the pie plate on her face. Was that her? Yeah, I saw her. I don't know what that character is. Can anybody help me with that? Anybody in the chat had like the paper plate thing on her head? I saw that.
It's like it kind of looks like a yellow and black version of, in my mind, of Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
I've got this in my head. That anyway. So you were asking, Mike. The students had an amazing time. One thing they definitely did say, though, they're like, we want to make sure next year that the kids that get to go to Page and get to go to Concoction are folks that have actually been participating in the club more often.
Oh, were there?
Apparently they were.
Were there fair weather club members who just wanted to come to the conventions?
Yeah, the first one, there were a couple that apparently.
Is it true? Is it true that they were there because they wanted to see artists Jeff D and Chet Minton?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Don't tell them.
What age range are we talking about here?
High school?
They're high school kids.
High school.
Yes.
High school. Yeah, Chet and I are huge in the high school crowd.
Yes.
They're celebrities.
I do drive a white van.
He does drive an unmarked white work van.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah, to make it weird.
Stereotype is real.
He's got, he may or may not have a fishing pole with a 20-sided die added, connected to it.
I have the cardboard sign that says free dice on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, I would probably end up getting trapped too. So yeah, no, my students had a great time. They're actually, really, they're very much interested in, being more involved next year on the other side of things.
Yeah.
As you and I had discussed a little bit. So
yeah,
they're excited about it.
And, Deb and I were talking, and I'm going to go for my biometrics appointment and help be like an outside, what would you call it? An outside
volunteer
for the Vineland School District's gaming club.
So yeah, we're pretty excited this year. We're going to have 2 advisors.
Oh, okay.
We're splitting, we're making it work. Her name is Kiara Webster. She's a new teacher. This is her, I think, 2nd year teaching at our school. And she is much more knowledgeable about all of the other types of role-playing games that are out there. I know my lane.
Which is
my
what?
Lane is D&D.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
We're the D&D club, VHS D&D club. And I know that they were interested in, I think they actually had something at one of the middle schools, Johnstone Middle School, or at least AMSA or something over there. But the teacher that was doing it a year ago is no longer teaching in our district. So no one grabbed onto that one. So
do you think the kids would be interested in trying out a superhero role-playing game?
I think that a lot of our students are interested in branching out from D&D. So even though we're the D&D, the VHS D&D club, we're probably, and it's such a hassle to get a name change. So we're just going to keep it that way.
Yeah.
But we're going to let people know that we're going to also start embracing other tabletop games.
Well, what we're going to do then, because you heard earlier that Jeff and his partner Jack Kerman, published a superhero game back in 1979, back when Jeff himself was in high school or of high school age. I'm going to.
I was. They hadn't kicked me out.
Well, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you emancipated yourself from school so you could follow your dream.
I did, in fact, graduate 1 year early.
Oh, okay.
My art teacher allowed me to pick up extra credits by taking his class instead of a lunch period, and I was eating my lunch in art class and getting my necessary credits.
And you've been catching up on lunch ever since.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy three sets of the basic, like the core rules for Jeff's game, Villains and Vigilantes, as it stands now, along with whatever he deems to be the key accessories. And I'm going to donate them to the D&D club.
Let me ask you, Deb, are all of the kids in your club more or less up to speed already on role-playing games when they start, or do you get like just interested new players that have to learn what it's all about?
All right, I'm going to do 2 different things. First, I'm going to say, Ron, thank you. Thank you very much. And yes, I do believe they're going to be interested in that. Then we're going to go back to Jeff's question. So, honestly, this year we had more absolute just virgins to the entire thing.
Then I'm gonna send along some copies of Cave Master.
That would be
which is my caveman role-playing game,
awesome.
designed to be something cavemen could have come up with and played. But we've had multiple educators since the game came out who are also gamers contact us and say that it's a really good introductory role-playing game for kids because the rules are extremely simple.
Awesome.
They had to be.
Well,
cavemen had to come up with them and then remember it all because they couldn't write anything down.
So are you saying it's so easy a caveman could do it?
It is in fact so easy a little kid could do it. It was meant for cavemen.
So, but knowing
apparently according to these educators, there's not much difference.
Well, but knowing you the way I know you and knowing Manda the way I know Manda, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you folks are very particular about your history, right? And your archaeology and things like that. I mean, it's so nice to have somebody who actually understands archaeology on this show for the first time. That's a shot at the archaeologist.
Yeah, exactly.
On the panel.
And that's not me so much. That is Manda. See, I've got two companies. The superhero stuff is all with my best friend from high school, who back in 79 we did our superhero role-playing game, and we're still putting out new material. But my other company, Unigames, is me and my partner Manda. She's the one that did all the research on the Caveman RPG, into what we think that their social structures were like, what kind of materials did they use, what kind of technology did they have, and that's all in that rule book. I'm the mechanics guy. Mm-hmm. She did all the actual, research part.
Okay, but nonetheless, I'm not off by saying that you're very into archaeology and ancient history and things like that.
I'm an interested, fan.
So take us through the anthropology of that. Are the kids going to learn about like the different levels of, evolution of man through the game?
Because paleontology is an ongoing field, we were not comfortable saying, you can play a Neanderthal or a Cro-Magnon exactly. We made up our own caveman cultures that are inspired by those, but so that we didn't have to worry about 6 months after publishing the game somebody digging something up that proved that we were wrong about everything. So it'll be thematically appropriate and give them maybe some inkling what it was like to be a person in that era.
Okay.
As far as what their needs were, what their capabilities were, and what there was to do.
So
and then it's got fantasy elements layered on top, right? I mean, there's an optional magic system and an optional inventing system and some optional dinosaur stats if you really want to put them in there, even though no caveman ever saw a dinosaur. That's all in there. And then there is an expansion, Dinosaurs of the Lost Valley, which adds actually completely made up dinosaur people that you can play. I'm running a campaign of that right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's cool.
Well, I think the kids will really enjoy that. So, Jeff, if you could put together a list of all these items, and get me the cost, you and I'll take care of that offline. But okay. we do have a Cave Master fan who happens to be my wife Jennifer. She likes the game. And she also says, don't pick on Phil. The answer to that, Jen, is the same as every time you ask me for a new piece of farm equipment. No. Brian Keena's checking in. All right, now, finally a professional YouTuber himself. Ryan Morgan asks, can we have the links to some of these games?
Sure. Okay, hang on a second.
Okay. Here's my wife trying
that.
Here's my wife trying to be nice, right?
Talk among yourselves.
Look at this. Apologies to all the creationists out there. That no hollower words have ever been spoken by my wife than that right there. Okay.
I will say a couple things here. I got a chance to play Cave Master at Concoction, and Jeff was my game master as well for that game. And it was a very interesting experience because there is no dice. You're playing a role-playing game in an unconventional way mechanically, which I found it took a couple of minutes to wrap my head around the decision-making mechanic. But like riding a bike, we play these games and then you get into the swing of it and the flow of it. It was thematically on point. And yes, those of you that don't know, I do have 2 degrees in archaeology. I used to get paid to do that as a job. That's what Ron was poking at earlier. So I really enjoyed playing a role-playing game that didn't have like dragons in it and swords and chainmail. So that was really, really neat. And Deb, to your point, I'm a teacher too, and I advise my D&D club that doesn't play D&D anymore. We have had a lot of success with Shadow Dark, as a matter of fact. I moved the kids over to Shadow Dark because it's a lot easier to get your head around that without the heavy mechanics sometimes of D&D. So,
Neil Devlin asks Jeff, are you going to run Cave Master at Page this year?
Am I going to?
Yeah.
Since Manda and I are focusing each on one of the 2 companies, I'm probably going to be doing just Villains and Vigilantes, but she'll be running Cave Master as she has every year.
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out how to get a message into the chat where people could see it, and I cannot figure out the user interface. So I'm going to just say, hi, Neil Devlin. I meant to say hi to you earlier in the chat. I couldn't. So hi.
Neil is very excited that Amanda's going to be running Cave Master. In fact, he's this excited.
And
back to that one.
That, eh? I should mention it, by the way, is there a chat? Here we go, chat. Chat, where do I make things happen?
Oh, there you go. Neil says he wants to play both.
So do I.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, I also want to post something in the chat, but I don't see how to do that.
Oh, good. I don't feel bad. I was like, wait.
Yeah, just put it in the private. You can put it in the private chat.
Put it in the private chat.
Okay.
And then Ron will put it in the main chat.
Here is the info that was asked for. So I wanted to plug Amanda's next project. She is working on the sequel to Cave Master, which is going to be a Copper Age role-playing game. Nobody's done Copper Age yet, right? I mean, we see ancient Greece, mythology, guys. And
I saw Phil's eyes light up when you said.
Yeah, well, hey, I already knew that because I had the pleasure of dropping Jeff and Amanda off at the airport after Concoction, and we had an in-depth conversation regarding it. And so I was very excited to hear this. But to Jeff's point, RuneQuest is supposedly based on the Bronze Age. So we've had Bronze Age gaming, but Copper Age, which is a separate part of European and Middle Eastern history, has really, not to my knowledge, been touched on by a game designer. So very exciting stuff.
It's like proto cities, but still no written language, and it's really interesting, fascinatingly different than Cave Master. Even though we're using basically the same system, it's just the things that you get into in once you've got largish settlements, and the needs of the community become a thing in a way that it just doesn't come up in a caveman game. There aren't enough of you. So thank you for posting that stuff.
I'm sure my wife's going to be very interested in that. I mean, she's a slave to history shows, and that excites her very much. I mean, it really, those sort of things really make her happy. Here's an example of me happy a few years ago. At page 1, we had a somebody didn't show up to run their game. He who shall be left unnamed. But I went to go run the guy's game for him. And Jeff D walked over and said, "Hey, can I play?" And I was like, "Oh, that was one of the great gaming thrills of my life right there."
So, I need to say something else. The fella asked if I'd be running Cave Master there. Actually, yes, I probably will, because I like to run it after hours, like in the hotel. In the cafe, because you can. It's a really easy pickup game, and I've done that multiple times every show I've attended.
Jeff, can you
there was a guy at the hotel, Ron, I don't know if you heard this story, but the guy working the desk at the hotel last year, who knew about Page but couldn't get away, and he was a gamer. I ran a little Cave Master game for him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I did not know that. It wasn't a lot of business.
Yeah, that's good. I did not know that. There it is, running it in at the bar. There, Brian Keena says, Jeff, your link to your rates is not coming through. We need the actual link. And here's my wife. I have a fancy degree from the Kmart version of Rutgers, according to Ron. Yes.
Send you that again, but I don't know why it would. No, that's the exact same thing.
No, the tiny URL won't come through, I don't think.
I just clicked on it on my screen and it worked.
Let me see. I'm testing. Oh, yeah, it works, Ryan. Yeah, it works. You got to get the A, Ryan. Did you miss the A?
Well, I mean, does it come up in the chat?
Try now, Ryan.
As a link?
Try that. Yeah, I just sent him the link.
Okay.
In the chat.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't know. It worked for me. You know why? Because the A was missing. That's why. So try the link I just put in the chat. Try that one. That'll work.
So somebody mentioned that it's different from other RPGs the way you play it. You don't use dice. You use handfuls of pebbles. And the randomizer is, say you've got 5 stones of ability at doing something, and the difficulty is 4 stones, then you pick up 5 and split them secretly between your 2 hands so the other person doesn't know where they are. They do the same with the difficulty stones. You each pick one of the other person's hands, reveal, and compare, and that's the randomizer.
Is there ever any just ignoring of the hands and slapping to the face during that process?
Not within the bounds of the rules. No.
Okay. I'm just
They don't
making
recommend
sure. We've got a bunch of people checking in here. Ryan Morgan says it works now.
Oh, good.
We have Jen Glazer, our special guest coordinator, who's here. Hi, Jen. How are you? Hopefully Zach is safe and unstabbed right now. Let's see. People are still commenting. What do we have here? We got Jake Madden. Jake, did you see that Lee Hawkridge is looking for a roommate for Paige? The A didn't paste in the YouTube chat. Make sure that is all in the show notes. Yes. Jen also says the Stone's mechanic in Cave Master is an excellent departure from Dice.
Thank you, Jen.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, I wanted to make something that didn't require going out and buying more components and rocks you can just find on the ground. And then that was all a question of, okay, now that I've got a bunch of these things, how do you make a game out of it? And I'm constantly amazed it worked out as well as it did.
All right, can't make this stuff up. Jake does not want to share with Lee Hawkridge because he's always sharing with 2 boyfriends. Very exciting and perhaps too revealing. And Jen, Stabby Jen only has 1 N in her name. It's just Jen, not Jenanen like you. All right. So
there's Jen and then there's next gen, right?
Yeah, exactly. Jen would be okay. My Jen would be okay if I found a next gen, as long as the next gen does my laundry. No. Too soon for that one. Chet, what questions do you have?
For Jen?
No. Well, no. You apparently asked a bunch of questions when you stayed here at the house, so that's no good.
I heard about the closed fist and all that.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm not going to get into whether or not she once struck me with a closed fist. I'm not going to discuss that.
Somebody earlier asked if I had done comics.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to that. Do you mind if I answer that question? So there was a 4-issue miniseries from Eclipse Comics in '87, a Villains and Vigilantes comic book. And, there's go to a comic book store and they may have back issues of that. I also worked on, if y'all recall, the Dungeons and Dragons ads that ran in comic books back in the day.
Oh.
Where it was an ongoing story.
Yeah.
And
did you design the story or just draw the story?
I worked with with Steve Sullivan, who was the writer. And we came up with an idea. And then I only worked on, I think 8 were eventually published. I only worked on the first 2, maybe 3. And I'll say a couple of years ago, a collector got Steve Sullivan and I to recreate those comics, including the 2 additional pages that never got published that Steve had written. So it's a complete story. And also because we didn't have to do it as an ad, every single one of those strips had been missing a panel because it was a coupon to cut out and send in for your Dungeons and Dragons. So we added a panel to every single page, and we did that, and we don't know what to do with it. We have the client's permission to do something with it, but we haven't worked out what. And also there was a comic book that I did. I think it was 7 pages for the Bards of Greyhawk, which is I just happen to have this right here. There's a cover of one of their.
They're like a
CDs.
musical. They're a musical group. Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
And
that's cool.
So I did 2 of these covers, CD covers for them, but also a comic book in full color where each page of the comic is the lyrics of one of their songs, reformatted to be the captions and dialogue of a page. And that stuff recently appeared on my Patreon. That's what I didn't share. I should put my Patreon up.
Sure.
Well, while you're listing that, there was a question in the chat about whether the kids from Vineland were the kids with the red gnome hats at Page, and they were not. Phil, were they from your school, or were they from?
They were from was it the Norristown kids?
I think it was the Norristown kids. There were 2 schools from the Norristown area that the folks from 9th level games, the Kobolds Ate My Baby folks, they work with that game club, and they brought them in. There were actually 5 schools at Page. It was Vineland, another one out of South Jersey, and then Vineland, and then 4 schools out of Pennsylvania, 2 in the Norristown area, your school, Phil, and then Ed's alma mater.
Yes.
Yeah, so we gave all those away. Now, while we're talking about comic books, Chet, you recently did something very neat as up at a used bookstore in Connecticut related to comic books. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So I did for Whistle Pig Books, which is run by Tom Wilson from Throwy Games and his daughter Emily. I did a course on how to make comic books, and this was for kids around 5 years old to about 12 years old. And there was probably about 20 kids, and there was a workbook, and I showed them basically the way that I make comic book, because there's no one way of making anything, obviously. And I just showed them how I would make comic books, and starting with thumbnails and sketches and working on panels and such things like that. And then at the end, they got to make their own comic books, and it was fun. It's interesting to see young minds, because a lot of them were like chopping off vampires' heads and setting them on fire, and while you had other ones writing stories about their dogs. So it was an interesting mix of different stories.
It's always nice to see creativity.
Yeah.
My wife says, I thought those kids were prophets from the Church of Gnome.
I am a member of the Church of the Gnome, by the way. I was ordained on Halloween last year.
Really? That's not odd at all.
No.
So we have clerics.
We have some
I was a fun guy until you gnomed to me. Got to know me.
Baron Karza says Jeff is one of my artistic heroes.
Yeah, I spent many an afternoon and many summers redrawing a lot of Jeff's art, as well as some other artists.
Thanks, guys.
Deities and Demigods was definitely one of my favorite books. And I spent a lot of time. I've probably redrawn your pictures 100 times.
I'm honored.
Yeah.
I did put the link to my Patreon in the private chat.
Oh, okay.
If you want to post that.
So are you saying you drew Morgan Ironwolf several times? Chat?
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Morgan Ironwolf, yeah.
Is that your most requested redraw, Jeff, when people ask you?
It's way up there. You know, I play the old superhero MMO City of Heroes, and I built me a Morgan Ironwolf character in City of Heroes. I run her around Paragon City fighting supervillains.
Really?
Yeah.
So you know Matt Roberts from North Texas. He named his daughter Morgan after Morgan Ironwolf. I don't know if you're aware of that.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Okay.
Do you ever get any requests to draw Bast from the Deities and Demigods book?
Not so much.
Oh, okay. That was one of my favorite.
It's not all just about boobies, man.
No, I know.
What did you just say, Jeff?
Nothing. nothing.
What did you just say? Because it sounded like pure, pure unadulterated lies to me.
I think he forgot it's PG-13.
No.
That was PG-13.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Neil Devlin heard the word boobies
and got all excited. Okay. Oh boy.
And folks, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It helps us a lot to get more subscribers. So Neil says no, that's not true. Now, Jeff, you recently did some cover art. When I say recently, from page 1, right? After page 1, you did cover art for Valley of the Pharaohs, correct?
I did. Another thing that I have shared with my patrons on my Patreon page. All that stuff, as I understand it, after a couple of weeks, everything that I post there becomes available for anybody that wants to stop by and look through it.
Oh, good to know.
No,
that was a fun one.
Jeff D does Chandra the Castrator from Ardwin. If Jeff D does Chandra the Castrator from Ardwin Grimoire, would be awesome. Is that what you mean there, Baron? Was there an elven thief in Slate Pits? It was a halfling thief. It was Blodgett, right? Jeff?
There might also be an elf thief. I mean, there was a bunch of pre-gens for that module, weren't they? They didn't all make it onto the cover. So I don't know. Yeah, that cover.
Well, I'm going to the pre-gens.
Now that front cover, that's a female dwarf, right?
That is a female dwarf with with
boobies. Yes, boobies.
Beard.
Beard and boobies.
Yes, that's a female dwarf. It's Elwita.
Elwita, yeah.
Elwita. Now, the answer is there's only one thief
Okay.
in the adventure, and it is Blodgett, a
It's
male halfling.
Yeah. Okay. Just the one, not an elf.
Yeah, they
Oh,
only
it could be a half elf, halfling.
You're saying it's a tall
half
fellow?
elf
Is that what you're
quarterling.
saying? Well, Blodgett was 3 foot tall and 60 pounds. There was only one elf. It's a male elf, and it was a fighter mage. And somehow, it's a 4th level fighter, 4th level mage. Somehow, it had 25 hit points. I don't think that math works out. It doesn't. It doesn't work out. It could have 20. Yeah, no. 5. Yeah, barely. It would have to be max hit points. But, who's counting? A little more Jeff D art from the back.
Watch it again.
Yeah, he's getting ready to kill that orc there. So, this to me, this piece of art right there, Jeff, is one of the most iconic module cover pieces of art as far as I'm concerned. When I think back to first edition, I think of this, just Blodgett hanging from the ceiling, getting ready to strike. The wizard, there's just so much action going on there. The dwarf's about to slug that Aspestrone. The wizard has magic getting ready to surge from his hands. It's outstanding. It really is.
Thanks, man.
Yes, you're very talented, Jeff.
Thank you.
So, Chet, have you ever done a full comic book?
Yeah, I've done several anthologies. For some reason, I got picked to do a lot of horror stuff, which my stuff is not really horror. I did a retelling of Rapunzel for someone, Gary Scott Betty. I'm working on my own graphic novel now, which is the Tales of Circasso. He's a mouse knight. So if you guys are familiar with my mouse knight on the chicken, that's the piece that I'm making into a graphic novel now. Yeah, so I've worked on 6 comic books. So yeah.
Oh man.
I also do the comic one pages. Was for Frog Gods, now for Parallel Dimensions, called Tropes. I just finished doing a new page for Parallel Dimensions, so that'll come out with one of their next Kickstarters. If you go over to Parallel Dimension, you can actually help their contest naming the new characters that have been added to the comic.
So what's the most challenging part of drawing a comic?
The sheer amount of work. Because, you do one drawing and you conceive of it, you draw it, you finish it, you're done. Comic book, you're going to have on average like 6 panels. That's 6 pictures. Each one, you got to, conceive of it differently, and different characters and different from different angles, and all the environments can change. Everything. It's just 6 times the work.
Yeah, and you got to maintain the consistency, because if it looks off as you go from panel to panel, it just ruins the whole thing. My thing with comics that I had a problem with is if I'm doing the script and the work, sometimes I want to say more, but you got to shorten it down and you got to keep it brief. So sometimes being able to say a lot but not write a lot, it has been a challenge for me. That's the part that I do.
That makes sense.
I find harder. Usually what I do for my comic books when I have my characters is I draw up their faces from straight view, 3/4 view, side profile, and then I do all the different expressions that character will probably have. And then what I'll do is I'll trace those for several days over and over again, almost getting a muscle memory of it. I'll do the full figure also, and then I'll have a maintained color palette for that character saved that I use when I first color it, so that I can try to keep it consistent. And then when it changes from panel to panel and lighting changes or what have you, you still have your base layer per se of colors to go from.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What other questions do we have from the audience tonight for our guests?
I guess
I
my
was-
question
go
would be: are those crickets on your end? You have crickets in your Ron? Is that your?
I think that's my open window over here.
Oh.
And once in a while
Uh-huh.
you hear the screech owl outside. I don't know if you heard it.
Ooh.
This one has that kind of. I have a barred owl and a barn owl, and they're like competing for territory right now. And then I have tons of tree frogs, and
I love tree frogs.
yeah, they're cool. They
So
like
I
to
have a
come
question
like-
for Deb.
Yes, ma'am.
How long has the D&D club been in existence?
I started it January of 2002.
Wow, all that
Sorry. Wrong. Sorry. So sorry. Sorry. Brain kicking. I started at the school in 2021. I was looking for 2022. I apologize.
Oh, so it's relatively new.
Very new.
Good.
Yes. I apologize. Yes. And the first 6 months I was doing it, I just did it just because I was like, I want to have this group, and it wasn't around. So I was like, okay, I'll start it. And they're like, well, there's no money for it right now. I went, I'm going to do it no matter what. So pay me next year when I have a big, long membership list. They're like, okay.
Good.
Nice.
One question came in from Stabby Jen. She asks, what artists do each of you admire? I guess that's for Jeff and Chet.
Chet, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, so obviously many of the early first edition D&D artists were huge influences on me. Another artist was Rodney Matthews, a British artist, did a lot of fantasy and album covers. He was definitely a huge influence. Alphonse Moucha, Art Nouveau artist, did a lot of poster art and theater art from the 1920s. Huge influence on me. I'm really into the Romantic era of the 1800s, especially with sculpture and the use of movement and figurative poses. Yeah, that's a good list right there. Yep.
Jeff?
Wayne Reynolds also is modern D&D Pazio Pathfinder artist. He's really awesome too.
Jeff,
So,
how about you?
Yeah, I got my start at TSR like right out of art school, which was in the middle of the John Byrne, Terry Austin era on X-Men. So that was a gigantic influence on me. And I mostly have looked at comics for my inspiration just because of my background. And also over the years, Mike Mignola and who's the name's escaping me now? Frank Miller.
Gotcha. Now, speaking of comics, we've been talking about comics. We have a pretty big player from the comic book world who's going to be on the show next week. We've got Jim Zub, who heads up the Conan franchise, and he'll be on with his wife. I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God. That's Grace. It'll come to me in a minute, but who his wife works for Wizards of the Coast, and they're both going to be on with us next week.
That's exciting.
But now I have to fix the I can't remember the other guests from next week problem. So that's what happens when you get old, folks.
It happens even when you're young, Ron. Happens to me all the time.
Hold on. I'm getting there. Getting there. Geez, I don't know what happened here. You know what? I'll have to find it a different way. Talk amongst yourselves. This is not a professional program, folks. Here it is. Stacy King. I was going to say Grace King, but it's Stacy King. It's Jim Zub and Stacy King. They'll be on with us next week, and for those of you who aren't aware, I mean, the Conan influence on Page next year's just going to be massive. With all the TTRPG Conan contributors that are going to be with us, including, interestingly, Zeb Cook, who wrote the TSR Conan RPG.
That's right. And I'm sure a lot of you in the audience saw the announcement yesterday that there is a Conan animated series coming. I believe it's to Netflix.
I don't see that. When did that news come out?
I think it was just announced yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh boy, yeah, I missed it.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
It's the same guy who animated the show Primal.
Yeah, Jenny Tardovsky.
Holy
So
cow,
he also
really?
did. Yeah, so he
Really?
also did Samurai Jack and
Primal,
other
also a big
Yeah,
inspiration on Cave Master.
Primal is awesome.
Yeah.
That's worth watching every 3 or 4 months. Rewatching.
You see the crossed fingers here. I should probably put up fingers that I can actually cross, not the ones I cut off. But there's crossed fingers when we talk about the situation with that artist and Page.
Oh,
So we'll see.
Which artist?
I can't say.
The one that I asked for?
Well, that's also coming close now as well.
Yeah, he was just in Philadelphia too for
Fan Expo.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, I know. I've got KS is working on it, but no.
So with the Conanza, why don't you reach out to the Frazetta girls and see if they want to come?
We've engaged them in discussion.
Okay.
The first answer was no, because they don't feel that they're TTRPG people. However, with all of the different Robert E. Howard scholars and folks coming in, we're going to take another swing at that. So, and I do have to say that folks like Jim Zub and Matt John, who's the writer of the current flavor of Conan role-playing game, Conan the Hyperborean Age from Monolith, which is a great game, by the way. It's a wonderful system. I'm playing tomorrow. I'm almost as excited as... No, I won't do it. I won't play the Neil video. Jeff Shanks, who's a another like uh, you know, pop culture expert, Robert E. Howard expert. They've been so like helpful. Like they've adopted Paige and have tried to do so much more, and their events are starting to come in, and their events are wonderful, and I'm excited about it. I really am. I think it's something different. Other than like San Diego Comic Con, I think we're going to have a lot of Conan content from across everything. In fact, for those who are special guests, staff, or volunteers, we've rented out a movie theater for Wednesday night across the street from the convention center. So, you're going to hear some, there's going to be some Conan on the screen there. So very, very, very cool. Very, very cool. And I like it.
I have a question for Deb.
Yes.
Speaking as somebody that started playing role-playing games when I was in high school, and remembering what it was like back then, a huge influence on me and a huge inspiration to get involved in tabletop role-playing games were things like Conan novels and Michael Moorcock, Elric, and Lovecraft and all that stuff. Our kids today, high school kids today, they have the same kind of access and exposure to those cultural influences. What's inspiring them to get excited about playing TTRPGs? Is it all anime?
I would say Stranger Things.
Yeah, sure.
Was especially when I started the club, that was what I kept hearing from the students. It was like, we watched this. I got a couple kids that were absolutely, had already been doing it for, years. But
Right.
No, I think majority of my students in my club are coming to the club because they heard from a friend who was was enjoying the club. So a lot of, hangers on. We had what I thought was adorable was we actually had, guys would come with, and their girlfriend would watch them play.
Yeah. That hasn't changed much over the years.
I was like, oh my God, that was me back, because I didn't play. I was the girlfriend. So it's interesting seeing that. But I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. I was just wondering, where it's what the context is these days in the culture that kids are exposed to. And it sounds
majority of them
different, but it's also, when I was a kid, there weren't people to drag me to a club because there wasn't a club and nobody else knew about this stuff, so it was in a way harder. But then, I could go down to the local bookstore and read my way through the Elric novels and things, and that helped get me going.
Now, Jeff, you asked this, and interestingly, this is one of the panels that we're going to be having at Page. You've got Saturday at 1:00, Pulp Influences on TTRPGs, Weird Tales and Wondrous Dice. And it's long before cozy core fantasy took over the tabletop. Early role-playing games found their lifeblood in the visceral pages of Weird Tales and other pulp magazines, thanks to authors such as H.P. Lovecraft, Robert E. Howard, and Edgar Rice Burroughs. In this fun retrospective, a panel of pulp scholars and media creators and literary experts, Jim Zub, Jeffrey Shanks, Dr. Emily Zarka, Matt John, and Sean Curley. Though from what I understand, Sean Curley is going to be the moderator of this now. He's not going to sit on the panel. Break down how pulp writers subverted traditional epics to engineer building blocks of gaming. From classic D&D to various Conan TTRPGs, Call of Cthulhu, and more modern sword and sorcery systems, learn how weird horror laid the groundwork for our entire hobby, which I think is a very, very interesting, panel, especially mixing Dr. Emily Zarka in that mix. And for those who missed some of the earlier announcements, she is the presenter, writer, and producer of PBS's show Monstrum, which is extreme.
I've watched Monstrum.
Yeah, she's the host. Yeah, I mean, she's wow, she's cool. Like I've gotten to speak to her a few times, and she's going to be bringing a different perspective to this. If you can believe this, she constantly references D&D. Like,
no kidding.
As she takes you through like a monster or cryptid or whatever she's doing, she brings it up through pop, like today's history. And she's like, oh, in Dungeons and Dragons, it's like this. But she's never played. And wants to play so badly. So we're throwing her in like live play games and regular games. Like when she's not on panels, she's going to be playing the whole time. So Jeff, I think we need to get her into a V&V or a Cave Master game as well at Page, because she's down for anything. And what a really nice, down to earth person.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm all excited.
Yeah, no,
how excited am I?
Oh, Jeff, I got a question. Are you perhaps this excited?
I'm 80% that. Thank you. Thank God.
Yeah. You set me up nicely. I appreciate that. There is a question here for Deb. Deb, have any of the kids explored the thought of creating their own games based on what they've learned and experienced in your gaming club? Maybe we can have Jeff D record a little video talking about how he created his RPG at 17 years old.
That'd be great.
We'll have him say things like, and some results may vary. So, and we have an offer. Yes, this is going to happen, Neil. So we'll probably do that, but we're definitely going to make her play in the Down the Dark Stairway game, which is our Shadow Dark Mega event for those who don't know. There's some lovely Chet Mitten artwork there.
Ooh, very nice.
Of our halfling heading down the steps, down the dark stairway.
I've had a lot of people reach out asking me if we're making that into a T-shirt, or are we making it into prints, things like that.
Yes.
That is a great picture, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of compliments on it. I really was happy with this one.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's wonderful. So
Ron was beating on me. Where is the art? Where's the art? For weeks and weeks, and I'm like, I had to take a picture, an actual picture of like an old stone stairwell, and I only use paint, for those of you who haven't figured this out yet. But I am supremely talented at paint. So what I did was I put a black background behind it, and then made it, or in front of it, and made it like 80% transparent, darkened the whole picture up, and it looked great. Yeah, it was a piece of terrain.
What do you mean a piece of terrain?
Wasn't it a piece of terrain that you did?
No, it was
No?
a picture of like a stone stairwell from Europe somewhere.
Oh, I thought it was a piece of your terrain. Okay.
No.
Because that's the actual stairwell.
Well, you just drew it, right?
Yeah, from that picture.
Yeah.
That's the perspective that you had in that
Yeah,
picture.
no, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, don't encourage him. Oh boy. There we go.
Too late.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. Hey, for those, just gonna take a little respite here and then get back to our final segment with our guests. But for those who don't know, Concoctions dates are set next year. Yes, I'm aware it's free RPG day. I'm aware, but we're going to work that out because, our very good friends from Games and Stuff, some of who were the founders of free RPG day, we will get something cooking with them for the convention. Additionally, if you didn't catch it at the beginning, Chet and I have a Kickstarter running along with Stabby Jen, and it's for the adventure log, and this is this puppy here, and this is where you keep all your game notes for your game sessions, all broken up into nice little neat sections, and everything right on one spread. And it's currently in Kickstarter pre-launch mode, and we're really excited about it.
And the pages are thick, which is what Jennifer's Cash's husband loves. So
Yes.
Yep.
can't go wrong with thick pages, apparently.
All right, quick, everybody scan it so you can follow it before it disappears off the screen. Get your phones out. Why do I hear crickets?
Or you can print screen. Well,
Yeah.
the crickets outside my window.
And
you
if
see our friend the Necromouser there.
Folks, it is important to follow a Kickstarter or crowdfunding campaign prior to launch, because the more followers prior to launch, the more it gets prominently displayed in certain categories on those crowdfunding platforms for people that just, are looking for something to back. So the more followers, the more prominently it's displayed algorithmically.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I see Michael Doherty's with us. Hello, Michael. And I want to remind you guys, please, for those watching us on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to it. It's important. It really helps. And I see a couple people have subscribed tonight, and we appreciate that.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Yes. Okay, we're going into our final segment here. Any questions for Jeff or Deb before we let them go to sleep? Deb looks like she's ready to go to sleep.
So, Jeff, what was your favorite piece of art that you did for Dungeons and Dragons? Is there one or two that really?
I can't believe it's a fellow artist asking me this, because I hate this question.
Yeah.
I don't think that's my call. I think I do the work. I try to make everything good, and then the people tell me which ones worked out the best for them. I just don't. I try not to have that opinion.
Yeah.
There's
Maybe this is a
and
bit
to
of
the
a slightly.
extent that I do, I generally disagree with a lot of people. So that's I don't see any reason to get myself in the way of their decision. You know what I mean?
Maybe a slightly different question. Do you have a memory of when you finished a piece at TSR and where the art director had the most positive feedback or reaction to the piece?
Nothing particularly
I'm
stands
totally,
out, man. You're working for a living.
I'm totally clipping that. I'm totally clipping that, just so you know. That's going to
really, it was much.
That's going to be the new Neil. That's going to be the new Neil thing.
Sorry, I asked.
It's mind blowing. Almost as mind blown as Jeff D was here. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The environment in TSR's art department was much more like camaraderie and goofing off and looking over everybody's work while it was being done. And so all that positive reaction was kind of spread out over a long period of time.
The course of the piece. Right.
To finish the thing. So
every
once in a while there would be something that, a word would get out to the rest of the offices that, Errol's doing something pretty amazing for the cover of deities and demigods. You should come down and take a look, right? And then we get visitors. It was stuff like that.
Which of the I'm going to call them older artists because you were a kid, right?
We are now.
Yeah, but you were a kid. You were a kid when you went to TSR.
Yeah.
There were some people in place already. I guess Dave Sutherland was there, right? And,
he was the art director at the time.
Yeah. But who would you consider who mentored you the most of that initial group of artists that were there, or were they all like, get out of my way, kids, you're taking my money?
Me, my answer is going to be kind of similar, right? I mean, we all were there looking over each other's shoulders. Nobody really taking charge and seriously influencing one another. It was much lighter than that, as I recall, right?
There wasn't one that stood out and said, "Hey, youngster, let me give you some advice."
I got the impression I had is that the reason that they'd hired us is because they thought we could already do the work, and it wasn't about training us up. It was about, getting our output and putting it in the books. Again, we talked, but it wasn't like that.
Okay. Jeff?
And Dave Sutherland, who that's, kind of should have been his job, was super easygoing,
It's funny. I harken back. I was 17 years old, and I was working as a stringer for a local newspaper in the newsroom at night, and just working with a bunch of miserable people. They were miserable, like curmudgeons, all of them. Chain smoking at their desks and everything else. And, I'm getting ready to go away to college, and they're like, "Come on, kid, you're coming to the bar." Because we would get done at like 1 a.m. So we go to the bar, and I remember they're all like pretty drunk at this point. And they're looking at me and they're like, "All right, we're going to tell you, kid. We're going to tell you the truth. Like, if you want to be, you're too ugly to go on to TV. And you stammer over your words too much to be on the radio. So if you want to be a journalist, like a news journalist, like a newspaper guy, like us, look around. Do any of us seem like we're happy? Do any of us seem like we're rich? No. So we're going to give you some advice. It's going to be the best advice you ever get. You're going to school for journalism. Drop that major. If you just want to be a newspaper person, just stay here and work. You'll be light years ahead of any kid coming out of journalism school, making more money. You won't spend your money on college. You don't need a college education to do this. Just, just work. Otherwise, change your degree to marketing and minor in journalism, and maybe you'll get a real job. And
That's awful.
they were,
Wow.
they were so miserable, these guys, that I took their advice, because I did think about it, and I'm like, these guys are miserable pricks. They really are. And I was just like, you know what? They're right. Let me do something else. So got my degree in marketing from that. I did not minor in journalism. I didn't. Yeah, I got out of it, and even though it's only like 2 classes different, it's like only 2 classes away. The degree at the time, going back to the very early 90s, but yeah. So I was hoping to hear something like that. 1890s, yeah. Chet.
Well, it sounds like the degree served you well, Ron.
Not really. No.
No?
Now I've been in the labor movement forever, it seems like now. So
Sounds like the big difference is, your coworkers went off to the bar together afterward, and we went home and gamed together.
it was a big difference. And, these guys were like iconic in this area. They worked for the Atlantic City Press, which is the daily newspaper for basically most of like New Jersey south of 195, right? And some of those guys were, worked there 50 plus years, like in the sports department and things like that. And, I would see them around every once in a while. I became friendly later in life with the old editor from the sports department. He and I became friendly, and I actually thanked him. I'm like, you know what, you guys were right, because especially with everything that's happened with journalism over the past 10 years. I mean, I would have been the first one to go somewhere. Probably I would have been the highest paid guy who had been around the longest, and they're like, we're downsizing you. So on that high note, does anybody have any happy questions they want to ask? My wife suggests that I think art is more of a calling than journalism is. And she also adds, can't you see how jolly and happy Ron is all the time?
Well, of course, he has a lovely wife, Jen.
No, a lovely and supportive wife, as you can see.
Supporting you with a closed fist.
Yeah. Well,
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, I have a work wife who yelled at me today because I was yelling at her on the phone about something, and she was yelling back at me. So yeah, that didn't work out so well. So yeah, been a rough 35 years since I graduated high school. 36 years, whatever it is, 37 years. I wasn't a math guy. Boy, I really sucked the life right out of this.
Yeah. Well,
didn't I? I'm just.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go. We're going to count down. We're going to give you 60 seconds to get your questions in before Deb falls asleep and hits her head on the desk.
Well,
now, Deb, you're not going to be able to change your hair color before Paige because nobody will recognize you. They're all going to be like seeking you out after this.
Well, I actually am thinking about doing it more regularly than just for, once or twice a year. So I think it's going to become more of a thing.
Look at the constant threat of physical violence I'm living under. That's she only has
What
two
is that
hands, yet there
anyway?
are three fists.
Well, the first one means a punch in the nose, and the other two are a punch on both sides of the head. That's what I'm interpreting from that emojis.
Oh, that's violent.
I just don't want her and Stabby Jen hanging out because Stabby Jen stabbed her husband.
Well, they're all part of the cult of Jen.
Okay.
They have secret meetings and they discuss, their husbands. And I mean, look, Zach got out of line and she stabbed him.
Yeah.
You never know. Your Jen might stab you.
Actually, what happened, Deb, because Deb looks stunned. I think Jeff might know this story already, but she was carving a turkey and listening to music or whatever, not paying attention, and her husband snuck up on her, and she turned and gave him a little weird reaction, gave him a little jab, drew a little blood. Oh, here it is. She's saying it's all rumors.
I guess we'll say, is there photographic evidence of it?
There's the victim's testimony.
I believe the victim has testified, and she says, Deb, we will talk. Just don't talk to my Jen, because I don't want her getting any ideas. Though she was really excited. She found a pocket knife her father gave her, and I gave her like a little scabbard to put it in. And now I'm rethinking my decision to do that.
A scabbard.
Wow.
To put her pocket knife in, like a little holster, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a scabbard. Yeah. Holster.
Oh, here it is. The victim took his own photos. Every time I see him, I ask him to blink twice if he's in danger, and he blinks twice, like over and over and over again.
Well, he's always posting threatening pictures of his puppy and shaking his finger at him. So I understand why she stabbed him.
Jen and Jen will take Deb and Jennifer Cash to lunch.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
It's like the wives at North Texas. Oh, when they all get together and they go out, there's like a huge moment of relief. Like, oh my God, they've gone out. We're free to relax as men again.
Mm-hmm.
Artist Joey Dossel says sheath. Is that what that is?
Yeah, Joey's going to Texas. We're going to T-Fest in August.
T-Fest. You're going to be at T-Fest?
Fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
Coming down.
That's just down the street from me.
Yeah.
Wait,
so we can stay at your
Texas?
house. What's that?
Are you both in Texas?
No, I'm up in Connecticut.
Connecticut?
And he's in Texas, yes.
Okay.
But it's not
because I grew up in the Dallas area, so I was trying to figure out where.
It's a little,
right.
a little. We missed the whole thing where Chet was trying to stay at Jeff's house, so he didn't have to get a hotel. Chet is America's guest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Chet just mentioned North Texas, Deb. That's North Texas RPG Con, which is Dallas Fort Worth by the airport.
All right, because I grew up in the suburbs of Dallas.
T-Fest is not the closest convention to my house, though. Even though it's like a 4-minute drive.
Is it long?
That is a 1-day event every year at the local public library con, which I do every year. And that's literally walking distance. I could walk to it if I wanted to.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't.
I was just going to say, but you don't, right?
No.
It's nice having it that close, though.
Yeah, super nice.
So how far of a drive is it
to the library?
Yeah,
that's a minute.
His car isn't even warmed up. Well, he's got to bring his art. That's why he's got to drive.
Yeah, I tell you, the unloading and setting up at the table they give me takes longer than the drive.
Oh yeah.
So that's fun.
Let's see here. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, and there appear to be none, Deb, what do you want to leave us with tonight?
Me?
Yeah.
Um,
Any thoughts? Any?
No, just I know my students are the incoming folks that are going to be officers.
Okay.
They are much more interested in moving us to beyond D&D. So I think it's going to be an interesting year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Make sure to bring him by my my table, because I make all kinds of RPGs that are not D&D.
All
I
right.
know you guys are the stuff that you guys have offered and have offered to the club. I'm looking forward to watching them learn and learn alongside them. So, yay!
All right. Well, Deb, when we get offline, we're not going to give away our Troll Lord Games prizes for a trivia question tonight. We're going to give you a couple of gift certificates to their website, so you can purchase some of the gaming stuff there for the club as well. Okay.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Well, Deb, we're going to let you go.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for
Nice to meet
joining
you,
us
Deb.
tonight.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to
Deb.
meet you.
And I look forward to connecting with you later on about more about what we're going to do with you.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's definitely an
this is a
offline
PG-13 show. All right. I'm going to let you go. All righty. Bye-bye. All right, Jeff, what do you want to leave us with tonight?
Oh my. Haven't we covered it already? I just want to. I never know what to do when people say nice things about my career. I'm not good at that. But thanks everyone for the nice things that you said,
Listen,
and everybody in the audience for your questions and stuff. I do this. Somebody said, referred to art as a calling. To me, it's a way to stay in this hobby that I love so much. Like my art career and my gaming go hand in hand, and it's a way to have that connection all the time. So that's mostly why I do it.
Well, Jeff, I think you were the visual. You were the visual feeling for gamers from the late 70s and early 80s for AD&D. I mean, it was something that everybody could relate to, and just looking at it over the years, whether it's the back of D3 or Village of Hamlet with the zombies or ghouls. They were ghouls, right? Leaping at people. Right, the green one.
Yeah, that was ghouls.
They were ghouls, right?
Sure.
It might have been zombies. I don't know.
I'd have to go look it up. I would have said
Yeah.
zombies, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's whatever the adventure says.
But it was a backdrop for a lot of people, and it's something you should be proud of, because it's intertwined. You're intertwined with the history of the game. So,
lucky me.
All right, Jeff. We will be talking to you soon. I'll probably be reaching out to you sooner rather than later to
Alrighty.
get some info for picking up some stuff from you to send over to the school.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you, my friend.
See you in Texas.
See you later.
See you, Chad. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Jennifer.
Bye.
Bye, Phil. Ron.
Good night.
Thanks again. Good night.
All right. Phil, is there anything else you want to go over?
Yeah, maybe a couple of things before we sign off for this evening, folks. If you haven't noticed, we announced another special guest today. The Blue Meanie, professional wrestler. Blue Meanie will be appearing at Page from the ECW, WWF, WWE, Ring of Honor, AEW, and countless other wrestling organizations. He was in the movie The Wrestler and TV shows such as Nikki. And so he'll be there to interact with folks, and we're pretty excited about that. That was announced.
He's also going to be doing a seminar or panel along with others that is the importance of always staying in character no matter what. And I think professional wrestlers, they have to, even if they're hit in the eye with a fluorescent light bulb. So
yes, and getting hit in the eye by a fluorescent light bulb in particular can be very damaging to one's eye health.
Chet was a professional wrestler at one point. He wrestled under the name Chad Hansen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Chad Hansen.
You didn't know that, Jen?
No,
I thought
I
you
did not.
researched these shows.
Huh.
You're really slipping. You really are.
I am.
Oh man, Chet, you want to leave us with anything? You want to talk?
I just want to let everyone know that our friends at GUI Cube are going to have their 250th episode tomorrow morning for the Goo Mornings IFA. They're on the Twitch. You can find them on Facebook for the links for that. They are going to do the Wheel of Shenanigans, and they're going to feature some of my artwork on the show tomorrow.
Oh, okay, so your artwork's going to be on there.
Yes.
Yeah, I was.
And I will be in the audience.
You'll be in the audience? It's good.
Yes.
Chet, you did the rear art on this too, right?
Yeah. How did it come out? It looks good.
So for those of you who missed it, I really, it would be great if we could get some more follows on this. We are getting ready to launch soon. We're not going to tell you the exact date quite yet, but I'm going to put this in the chat. And if we could ask for your support of this project. It's something that I'd been cooking up for a while, and Chet always brings the stuff to life, and we've got a few other things in the pipeline coming up too that people are going to find pretty cool. One is a top secret project that I'm not going to even mention, but we've got something cool coming out called the Black Fountain. That'll be like a little mini adventure encounter area with some extra bells and whistles. And we'll talk more about that in the days to come. But we've got some cool stuff on the horizon at Orange Cat Games. But, if you could check out our adventure log, really help keep all your notes in one place for each of your adventures, and give it a follow, we'd appreciate it.
You're here.
Yep.
All right. Jen, you want to take us out?
Sure. So thank you for coming, and we will see everyone next week. And same time, same place. Have a wonderful weekend.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
See you later, folks. Bye-bye.